And welcome back to the Financially Simple Experience. So friends, I was reading a study by the Thought Lab here recently, and in the study it said, and I quote, "Wealth and asset management firms that embrace digital transformation increase their productivity by 13.8%, AUM by 8.1%, and revenue by 7.7%. Now, I don't know about you, but as a business owner in the financial markets, I would love to see my productivity increase by 13.8%. Love to see that. Or AUM by 8.1 or revenue by 7.7. Those are solid numbers for any business. Now, if you've been with us throughout the last few episodes, we're on a journey. We're on a journey to show that exiting your financial advisory practice for an 8 figures is possible. It is possible. You say, Justin, I am not a financial advisor. I don't own a financial practice. Hey, look, I realize that so many of our listeners own so many different types of businesses. I was talking with a listener this last week who works on clearing titles for properties, and they have a title clearing company that works all across the United States. It's a very unique business. So we have people that do run all sorts of businesses that listen to the show. So just because I'm talking about a financial advisory practice doesn't mean that the concepts are not applicable to your particular business. As like whenever I go to Grandy's, which is a restaurant I love to go to in South Georgia, and I get me a piece of fried chicken, man, you're going to eat the chicken and you're going to throw out the bone. And the same is true here for this episode. Grab the principles and apply them to your business. And if it talks about specific financial markets, hey, just throw that out. Let's let the financial advisors deal with that. So today I want to deal with how to strategically implement technology to grow your financial advisory practice. How do you strategically implement technology to grow your business? It can be done. So in order to understand that we need to grow our business, we have to first take a query of where we're at today. Are you unhappy with your current tech stack? Are you unhappy with the technology that you're currently using? So many people I speak to, not just in the financial space, but in many other businesses, are just frustrated with technology. Technology is evolving ever so rapidly. I mean, it is cruising along right now. Ever so fast, it's evolving. And we go to a trade show somewhere and we see, hey, there's this new piece of tech. It's like, man, that would replace 2 or 3, but do I have the time and energy to do that? So a pain point may be that you aren't happy with your current tech stack, or maybe, just maybe, you're losing clients. New clients are not coming on because your technology is antiquated. We're going to speak about that particular concept here in a few episodes from now, but maybe you're losing new clients. Maybe your current tech stack is human capital heavy. Hey, you have to have a lot of people to run your current tech stack. It's not yielding the results. Your employee costs are just higher than they need to be. Or maybe you have to have subject matter experts on this tech because it's not easily understood. You have somebody within your organization that understands the tech, and candidly, they can hold you hostage in your business. They can prevent your business from moving, and heaven forbid they decide to leave or you need to terminate. Now you've got somebody who's holding your company hostage because of just antiquated or tough technology. Ultimately, we're trying to build our business for the 8-figure exit. That's what we're after. So let me ask you this rhetorical question. How are you preparing your technology stack for the ultimate sale? How are you preparing your tech? Well, the first thing we have to look at is we have to evaluate our current technology suite during the planning phase. So as I often teach the Financially Simple Experience, there are 8 key areas of business, and one of those areas is planning. We have to consistently do strategic planning. Where are we going? And as we march to that direction, where are we going? As we march to that direction, where are we going? We're constantly trying to navigate this waves of business. It's like riding a boat in the ocean. I can't wait to do that here very soon. I'm going to be down in South Florida. We're going to be offshore fishing, and we're going to try to go out and catch some mahi and some tuna and some wahoo, maybe a sailfish. We're going to have a good time. And as you're going in a boat, waves eventually start pounding the side, and you're always trying to navigate the waves in the open ocean. Same is true with our business. So here's some things you might consider as you're evaluating your current technology. Is it costing you too much money, time, or is it misaligning from your strategic goal? Is your current tech expensive, or is it helping you reach your goal? Let me ask you another question. Is the tech siloed in one division? In other words, do you have only one department of your company operating on technology, or maybe 2? Or is the technology integrated throughout your entire area of business, the 8 key areas? Is it through all 8 areas? And we're going to talk about that in detail today. Let me ask you this. Is your current technology package scalable? Now, when we talk about scalable, oftentimes our mind goes to hyper growth. Like, hey, our business is going to double the revenue in the next 3 years. And many businesses can. However, what happens if we need to pull back a little bit? Market conditions, business conditions, risk within our business cause us to have to scale back. Can you scale your technology back quick enough without harming your financials? Now, in the finance space, many times tech companies will put us on 3-year contracts, and they'll do so based on some sort of a metric, which if we're not careful when the business contracts, we could be left upside down on our technology fees. It could harm us if the business were to pull backwards. So look at your tech suite. Is it scalable? There was a study done by Deloitte in 2022, and they're talking about the state of AI, artificial intelligence. And we're starting to see a lot of AI come about. We've heard all about ChatGPT and how it's integrating the school systems and even integrating the law firms. There was actually a case recently that I was tracking where a lawyer lost a lawsuit because of the use of ChatGPT. It was very interesting. The financial services company tend to be lagging right now because of the AI and the regulations, but Deloitte is showing that, hey, even the financial space is moving rapidly, not as fast as the rest of the open markets because of the compliance risk and things of that nature, but nonetheless, AI is even permeating our financial segment. So let me ask you, how is your technology suite built today? Let's dissect it further. Let's look at technology in light of the 8 key areas of our business. For those of you who are new to the Financially Simple experience, you can go back and listen to the episodes in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, and we're talking about how business can be broken down to 8 key areas. And those 8 areas are planning, leadership, sales, marketing, people, operations, finance, and legal. Those are the 8 areas that just the light bulb came on in my mind when I was earning my Certified Value Growth Advisor credential. To see those 8 areas and how each of these 8 areas intertwine with each other, how they connect, but also how they're separate. So if we think about technology and we're trying to build a strategic plan around technology, let's look at technology in light of the 8 areas. So first, let's start with planning. Planning is obviously where are we headed in business? So if we're looking at technology for planning, do you realize that you can build technology that tracks your KPIs? That you can outline your goals and see the measurement of success towards your goals? There's technology that can help you with that. Another thing about planning is social listening. Social listening. One of the things I love to pay attention to is what is the scuttlebutt? What's the scuttlebutt on the street? What's the hubbub? Whatever term you want to use there. What is happening on the street in my particular business? Now, every business owner I speak with has an understanding of what's happening in their business, but many times we get tone deaf to the industry that we're operating in. There was an interesting study done by Orion Advisor Solutions, and they surveyed their users, and they said that 47% of advisors expect to invest in technology this year. And out of those 47%, 30% expect to invest in planning technology, not necessarily just financial planning technology for clients, but planning technology for our companies. Think about it. As you're looking at planning technology, you might be looking for strategic planning technology, things that are holding you and your company accountable for the direction that you aspire to go. That's how technology can work in planning. Let's go around the wheel then. We have leadership, technology for leadership. There's so many books written on leadership. I can mention many, many, many. John Maxwell is probably one of my favorite authors on leadership. And when we look at leadership, no matter who the author is, or even if we're not reading a book on leadership, we know that for us as business owners, our vision and our mission and our values are paramount. We know why we started the business. We know what makes us, the business owners, tick. We know what our values are that we want to have permeate throughout the entire business. Do you realize that technology can help you through leadership? It can help reinforce and display your vision, your mission, and your values. Technology is powerful for that. Before I transitioned my company in our CRM, there was a bulletin board that would notify our team. And as they logged onto that bulletin board, I could put important messages throughout the team. And I was reinforcing our vision, our mission, and the value of the day. Another thing with leadership is you can have peer recognition. We'll talk about peer recognition in the upcoming episodes. One of the things you can do with technology is you can recognize your team. You can have the team recognize each other. In the current company I'm affiliated with, one of the things we have is a system that allows us to recognize other employees for good acts. And we can exchange these tokens that the person who receives a token can use it, cash it in, so to speak, and buy like a gift card or go get a coffee or something of that nature. Money is what's driving it, but nonetheless, it allows us to recognize fellow teammates. Anyway, as it relates to leadership, technology can also be used to illustrate the company's org chart, the lines of communication, who has authority within the company. Technology is powerful. Let me ask you, as it relates to leadership, what technology are you using to help you drive your company toward that 8-figure exit? Now, if we continue, we're going to go to sales, in the sales department of your company. Obviously, we would use technology to track the sales process. We could collect data within the sales process and analyze what's working in the process and what's not working. We could tie a customer relationship management, a CRM program, to our sales technology and have the two of them work together. We can use a nurturing campaign in our sales process. We can use technology for RFPs, for requests for proposals. The tech can be used by the sales teams to eliminate poor candidates, to set proper expectation, to provide the tone that the client is expected to experience. All of this can be done with technology specifically for sales. Okay, let's continue. We have marketing technology. My goodness, marketing is inundated with technology. Obviously, we would have emails. Obviously, we'd have digital. Obviously, we'd have nurturing. But more importantly, marketing, if we use tech right, it can show us an ROI. It can show us where our dollars are giving us the best results. To me, the marketing department's KPIs are powerful for me as a business owner, because if I can see what's happening in marketing at the top of the funnel, I can predict where our company is going to be in 12, 13, 16, 18 months just by looking at the data points from our technology from the marketing department. And so many times, this is what frustrates me in business. So many times we business owners, especially those of us who are financial advisors, we want instant gratification. We want to pour our dollars into marketing and it didn't work by next week. So therefore we're done. We're canceling it. When the reality is marketing, if it's set up properly, if we use technology to deliver us data that we can analyze and that we can create actions from, we can win. We can set our company up for the 8-figure exit. As we continue through the 8 key areas of business, we have the people component of our business. Did you realize that you can create digital training processes? You know, I talk about processes all the time and efficiencies and operational efficiency and SOPs and all these various things that we need in order to drive efficiency within our company. Do you realize that there is technology that allows you to structure processes into a training environment, and then whenever someone needs training on that particular process, you don't have to go manually one-on-one. You can create a system that teaches. According to the veteran industry technology observer, Joel Buckenstein, he said, and I quote, "Most wealth management firms are only reaching 50% of their functionality their tech tools can provide. And this is due to inefficient training and practice." Technology can be used to train. Can be used to train. The CEO of What a Fix software company made this statement about digital training. He said, "Digital adoption platforms, or as we call them, DApps, are a vital tool in the development of personalized trainings. DApps integrate with digital tools already in place to provide automated training tailored to the user in a workflow or specific workflow. A DApp will assign each learner task list and include relevant walkthroughs showing employees the best way to perform their task in each step. DApps make it easy for employers to track learning processes. All the data working together to improve the overall workflow." This is what technology can do specifically for your people. Another thing that technology can do for your people is monitor incentive programs. It's an old proverb that I like to quote. It says, "Where your treasure is, your heart is. Where your treasure is, your heart is." In other words, I heard another person say one time, "Hey, give me your checkbook and I'll tell you where your priorities are. Let me look at your bank statement. I can tell you where your priorities are." If you look at my bank statement, you're going to see at this point in time that my priorities are in education, because we're spending a lot of money with kids, as many of us do. My priorities are in experiences. We are traveling a lot, trying to create as many experiences, because the last 20 years of my life as a business owner, I haven't had that opportunity, and I want my kids to be able to create some memories at this point. So you can look at where my treasure is by my checkbook. In your business, software can be utilized to create incentive programs. You can track, your employees can track where they're at within a certain time frame to the incentive that you've outlined. This is one of the softwares that I love to utilize in my own companies. Let's shift over to operational technology. Now, there are so many technologies that we can deploy in operation, but here's a few that you might consider. Artificial intelligence. That's right. AI is now here. The sooner that we can utilize AI, as long as your companies allow with regulations, et cetera, as soon as you can use those, the more efficient you can often become. Now, the tried and true is a CRM. We all need a customer relationship management software, but more than just a data point that just keeps the customer's name and their address and the phone number and what they like to eat. A good CRM can work alongside and create workflows and SOPs and accountability process reports. So an integrated CRM across the entire ecosystem is powerful. Operations can have client-facing impacts. Currently, only 18% of investors say that they are very satisfied with the digital experience being provided by their financial advisor. Think about that. Only 18% of investors say they're very satisfied. That means 82% are not very satisfied. We can use technology through our operational efficiency to drive the customer experience. Let's go up to finance. Now, finance is often the one that we use technology, and more than likely, if you're a business owner, you have some sort of an accounting software. Maybe it's Peachtree or QuickBooks or something to that effect. That's archiving exactly where your dollars are going in and out, APAR. But finance technology is so much more than just APAR, so much more than just an income statement or a balance sheet. You can also drive KPI reporting. You can know what your shareholders' equity movement was over the last quarter through technology. It's not something that you have to manually calculate every time. One of the things that I love to use is a software called Fathom. Fathom works pretty well with QuickBooks and some other softwares that it brings in KPIs. So at a glance, you can tell how your company's doing financially. And finally, you have the legal or the compliance side of your particular industry. Did you realize that technology can do your compliance training for you? I was with a client of mine who works in the coal mining industry, and his job is to educate according to the MSHA rules, which MSHA is the government body of the United States regulators for the coal mining industry. His job is to make sure that the coal mines are in compliance with the regulations. So every industry has regulations. In the financial world, we are very heavily regulated, probably the most regulated industry inside the world. And so you can use technology to help educate your employees around compliance, around regulation. You can structure the technology in such a way that your teams are aware of the pitfalls, the roadblocks, the do's and the don'ts within whether it's right or whether it's wrong. The reality is this. In all areas of our business, there is a technology suite that can enhance our business. It can move us along the path to the 8-figure exit. So the ultimate question is this: how do we incorporate technology into our strategic plan? See, we're talking about planning today in today's episodes. Obviously, technology hits in all 8 areas, but how do we plan to make our technology drive us to that 8-figure exit? The very first thing you're going to do, and I repeat this all the time, is be crystal clear on what you're trying to accomplish. What is your objective? If you say, hey, I want to align my company for the 8-figure exit so that, fill in the blank. I've heard as of late, so that whenever it comes time to transition, I have the technology that the buyer would want me to have so I can integrate seamlessly. Not a bad move. And then there's a myriad of other so that's that business owners would have. But you have to know crystal clear what is your objective. If you know your objective, then you can say, okay, how am I going to deploy a tactic to meet this objective? So let's say perhaps you're trying to figure out what type of technology can I use to solve this people problem that I'm having. If you understand the people problem, the objective is to solve the people problem, then you can do your research and find a technology that meets your criteria. And then finally, you're going to deploy an action step for your team. The key here is whenever you're going through any type of major change, especially with technology, is to delegate and have the team come alongside to be part of the solution versus top-down management. Hey, we're doing this, let's go forward. You've got to bring the team alongside. So as you look at your technology suite, to preparing yourself for this 8-figure exit, and you're doing your planning and technology comes up, take an inventory of what you currently have, figure out exactly what you're trying to achieve, Let's see if there's a technology that can source that for us, source the problem, and then let's work with our team to deploy the technology. Friends, if that seems like a lot of work, hey, reach out to us. We have several programs that we can help you with. We have several coaches that can come alongside, and they can guide you and help you through this process in order to drive you to that 8-figure exit if you so desire. Look, I realize life is hard. It is. And life is complicated. It doesn't have to be. We'll continue to make our lives at least financially simple. Hey, y'all go out and make it a great day.